Hey guys, welcome back to the Behind the Plate podcast, brought to you by One IQ Sports. I'm Will, that's DJ, and we're back talking about the Blue Jays. They existed for 2 weeks. They swept, got swept, shat the bag, shit on the bag. It was all over the place, bro. They scored a whole bunch of runs, and they scored no runs. And then they set history. The 2025 Blue Jays, record setters. I don't even remember the last part we ended off. I think it was against Detroit. Like we're going into Detroit series.
Yes.
They lost 2 out of 3, as expected. Then they shit kicked the Padres. They made the NL West their bitch for 3 days. Then they went to George Steinbrenner Field and left the bats in Toronto. So that was kind of inconvenient. Not really fun when you can't swing at a baseball. And then they sort of found them when they went to Texas today. Overall, I think they won like 5 games since we last talked here, and none of the big boys have actually been useful or anything. They've just kind of existed in the lineup. Vladdy hit 2 home runs. No, Vladdy hit 3 home runs, I think.
Where? Starting when?
Starting the Detroit series. Did he not? Or it might have been the San Diego series. He might have hit 2. But like that anime day that they made for him? They're like, oh, Vladdy anime day. They made him like Super Saiyan strength. I text Brendan, and I'm like, Vladdy's hitting a nuke, confirmed. And then he hit it in the first inning, and I'm like, dude, sometimes you just know. You know, like sometimes you're just brilliant.
Sometimes you can, sometimes you need to put sports bets on, but you don't.
Yeah, I would have, I don't know, dropped my knees in a Walmart. Overall, it was just a meh.
Another
existence
mid Blue Jays week.
2 weeks, basically, a week and a half. Then they went into really good ABs against Jacob deGrom. They didn't strike out against deGrom. They're the first team to never strike out against Jacob deGrom. The 2025 Blue Jays. Look, this is gonna be a Jeopardy question in 20 years, and then they're gonna bring up this lineup, and people are gonna go, "What the fuck?" They're like, "This lineup?" Yeah. They'd be like the 2025 Rockies beating the Yankees. Oh wait.
Oh wait. Hey,
they did do that.
This team's gonna make, I could already tell, so much weird history. They're the most frustrating, then awesome team. It's like they're never good for too long or bad for too long. It's just they balance each other out.
They're gonna sit at 81 and 81. This is how it's gonna happen. They're gonna get swept by whoever they play second last, like the second last series, and then they're gonna sweep the last series to end at 81 and 81.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that all season: win streaks, losing streaks.
But it's gonna, I don't know. That's just, they exist. I don't know. I'm ready to have some conversations on some players maybe not being on this roster post July 31st.
Yeah.
Bow down to Bowden Francis is on that list. He just can't leave 91-mile-an-hour fastballs down the middle.
Right.
Like, you're just not going to get anyone out with that. Unless your goal is to knock out fans in the stands when someone dicks it 130 miles off the bat, in which case, keep doing that.
For sure.
Jose Urena, just throw his arm off and get rid of him.
Yeah.
Toss him to the side. There's no one really in the bullpen that I can't stand. Kind of like the kids they've brought up. I say kids as if they aren't older than me. But like the rookies they brought up in like Fluharty and Fisher do the job. You know, Fluharty actually had a really elite stretch of like 40 innings, 30 innings, where he was just the dude. It's like they're chilling. Brendan Little's been doing his thing. Hoffman's been
awful.
Hoffman's been Romano, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you're looking at other guys like Garcia's going down. Swanson hopefully comes back. He's in AAA today. And Ryan Burr, not great. You know, still hurt. Sandlin's out. When this bullpen gets healthy and rested in July, Look out, team. Look out, league. We might win 82 games.
Yeah, they're going to win us 1 or 2 games, but our offense will make sure to get 0 runs when that happens. But I feel like tomorrow is one of those weird games that I think we're going to win.
No.
Coming off a win against DeGrom, and we have one of the best pitchers in the league tomorrow, I think.
Is it Eovaldi tomorrow?
Yeah, versus
Francis. Oh, yeah, that is such a 2025 Blue Jay win.
Yeah.
Rolled a 5.5 ERA guy and win that game against the 1.6. Or, no. Yeah. Ooh, Wednesday might be the day. It's like Eric Lauer versus Tyler Mahle. That is such a Blue Jay win. This would be
Lauer's
such a 2025 Blue Jay series to sweep. Go sweep, sweep. That's such, like, it's what they do.
It's so frustrating.
This lineup's weird. Fun, weird, annoying.
Yeah.
I'm on the IL Anthony Santander train.
Yeah,
He is so obviously not healthy. Yeah, if he keeps having a hip and shoulder thing every 2 games, guys, he's not healthy.
Yeah.
So I think he's due for, even if it's like a reset, you're like, man, don't pick up a bat for a fucking week. Just sit there and eat popcorn. Whatever it is, just reset. Because it ain't working.
And why even put him in the lineup right now? Like, he's not producing. He looks awkward. It's not like we need him in the lineup anyway.
No.
Like, try something.
What's the worst of sending him on the IL and giving him 20 days to reset? You know, like 10 days where he does nothing, 5 days he kind of gets back into it, and then a 10-day rehab or something. And then in that time, you bring up Alan Rodin. Give him another shot. If you don't want to do that, you can call Loperfido up too. You know, like either or works. And then at the end of it, say you bring up Rodin, and at the end, by the time Santander's healthy, if Rodin's back to hitting the baseball like he is in AAA, then Clase goes down. And you call it a win.
Clase's been pretty good. I've been enjoying his at-bats too lately.
Yeah, if he just...
been making more contact.
He's so weird, is like the way I put it.
He's a blue
He's got 80 grade speed, probably a 60 grade power bat, and then he hits the ball like 2 feet in front of the mound. His contact is like -3. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Or he just comes through in the weirdest moments. Like, he'll have the bases empty, and he'll get a fastball down the middle, and he'll chop it to the first baseman. And then he'll get a slider that could bounce off the ground, and he'd drill it off the wall with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th. And you're like, where did this come from? Like, they pinch hit for him, for Santander. And I was like, well, this feels counterproductive. And then he laces one, and I'm like, okay, do this more. Like, excuse me?
Yeah, and then no, I think you're right. And then I think it was the next day or 2 days later, he had the bases loaded, nobody out, and he just hit a weak fly ball.
Yeah. The guy I would say that of like the young guys that impresses me the most right now is Addison Barger. That man, that calendar turned to May, and dude turned into an elite bat. Like I don't know. I knew he had elite bat. I don't know if you were as much on the Addison Barger hype train as I was. But like I always saw the bat speed and the numbers when that ball jumped off his bat. And to see him be able to do it consistently, like I think he's hitting 300 in the month of May.
Yeah, he's been really good. There's always been potential, but the biggest thing now is he has a way better 2-strike approach. He's taking balls in and not chasing every off-speed pitch that gets thrown at him.
Yeah.
His just approach is just so much better.
The consistency was such an issue last year.
Yeah. Even the start of this year, you've seen his strikeout rate when he came back up.
And then it clicked May 1st. What had that been? He was in Anaheim for that series before they came to Seattle, and he just dicked everyone down. He won the Seattle series. And then, I mean, he's just kind of continued it since. The biggest telltale on if he'll be an everyday MLB player is when the league adjusts to him, how he reacts. Because if he just goes back to swinging and missing a whole bunch, because the league's gonna adjust to him probably in June. Like, let's be real, like it's coming.
Right. Yeah.
They're gonna have about a month sample size of like, holy shit, this guy's hitting the ball around. Tampa pitched him really hard. Like, I don't think he got a hit against Tampa Bay, but like neither did anyone else. It's hard to complain about that. It came up clutch today. I think he had 2 hits today. Varsho had 3.
2 for 4.
Vladdy had 2. Did you see? Okay, you didn't watch the game, but so Texas's center field Cam is like dead set with the pitcher, hey, and if you hit the ball up in the air, like it looks like the ball's coming at you. It's so cool. So Vladdy hit like this middle fastball, like shoots it this way, whatever, and you can see the ball just go like that as it like sliced up the middle. It was so cool.
Damn. I
Yeah.
should check Twitter.
It was so nasty. I might be the only person who appreciated it, but it was so cool.
Hey, I appreciate the different like angles and the use of cameras in the MLB. I feel like they could do so much more.
I did
cool
not
shit.
appreciate the 3 innings of the George Steinbrenner angle that I watched. Very bad camera angle. I don't want to know what the back. Like, I'm on the right hand side of the shortstop.
Hey, there's good
what are
and
we doing?
bad ones. There's good and bad ones, but I don't mind them testing different ones out, even if it's bad.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But yeah, the draft's coming up is like the main thing I'm looking at right now. So I came with 2 players. I only want to see really these 2. There's other guys. It's like, oh, if they fell to us, Ethan Holiday.
Yeah.
I would jump up and down. I mean, there's more. Ethan's name was just on the top of my head. Jason Laviolette, who's a left-handed hitting power outfielder, and Brendan Summerhill.
Great name.
Yeah, right? Both
Great
are
name.
left-handed hitting, power hitting outfielders, something the Jays just don't have, really. Like, they don't have
Consistently,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they could have it with Santander if he figures his stuff out again. I do think Barger could be a 20-homer guy.
Springer's cold again.
Yeah, I mean, but he's a righty.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can about lefties, you're right.
And then, like, Loperfido, maybe? And then Rodon, I don't know if he's a 20-homer guy, maybe, like, 15, but he hits 280 with, like, a whole bunch of doubles everywhere. Varsho's turning into that. He's turning into Kyle Schwarber.
He is.
So those are the 2 names that I would target if I'm the Jays at the 8th spot. You get those 2, it just lengthens the shit out of that lineup. And really, like, if you look at the depth chart, there's not a lot of really good things there. Then I think at their next picks in the 3rd round, I'd go either like a pitcher, like if there's a catcher maybe, because we don't have a top 30 prospect as a catcher that can come up and even be a backup to Kirk, which is terrifying. And then the 4th round pick is either an infielder or a pitcher. By that point, it doesn't really fucking matter. Who cares?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. We have to make sure we get a catcher. I think that was one thing coming into the season that really scared the Blue Jays. Obviously, Kirk coming up was like a breath of fresh air. You know, he was so good for so long, and we've got him locked down. But, like, what happens when he goes down? Thank God for Tyler Heineman.
Who's hurt now?
Yeah, who's
So
hurt
now
now?
it's
Exactly.
Ali Sanchez? No.
And we don't want that
Absolutely not.
janitor in the game.
I made a 2027 depth chart. I was telling you about this because that's when I've pegged the next competition window to get slashed open. So the debuts, the anticipated debuts that I'm setting for end of 2026 season to the start of the 2027 season. You got number 1 in Arjun Namala, who's the number 1 prospect. Dude's a dog in Vancouver. He leads the league in basically any offensive category.
Shouldn't be
He's
there
19.
much longer.
No.
He shouldn't be there.
Then you got Treya Savage, a right-handed pitcher, your number 2 prospect. Then, God forbid, no more injuries. Ricky Tiedemann probably is the Blue Jay if he is healthy. There's your number 4 prospect.
Finally.
Then I have Kendrys Rojas, a left-handed pitcher in Vancouver right now. your number 9 prospect. Then Cal Stevenson's your number 10 prospect, a right-handed pitcher. There's a whole bunch of pitchers that I could just go off on right now that are sick. You know, Jaron Watts Brown, freaking rocks. So those are the anticipated debuts, filtered in with guys like Aralvis potentially coming back up, Wagner maybe coming back up, Barger's sticking around, you know, that type of stuff. Maybe Loperfido, Rodon, those guys coming back up. So the depth chart we have here for 2027 with no Bo Bichette extension, because I don't think that happens, and with a Varsho extension completed, because I think that's the number 1 priority right now. Your left field, your outfield right now, how I have it is in left field, Alan Rodon, center field, Varsho, and then your right field is no one. That's either your draft pick or you're finding someone, you know? And then the 4th outfielder I have is Joey Loperfido. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That's an all left-handed hitting outfield. Interesting.
Yeah.
In the infield, from third base to first base, we got Addison Barger, Arjun Namala, Andres Jimenez, Vladdy Jr.
Ooh.
And then you got Kirk behind the plate. That's a nasty infield. Elvis Martinez is like the backup, third base, shortstop, whatever. I don't really give a fuck. Yeah. And then I got Wagner as your backup second baseman, first baseman. And then I have an NA for your backup catcher. Because who the fuck knows who that's going to be. It could be Reese McGuire for all we know in 2027. Again.
Yeah.
Give him another chance with the parking lot and the stick, you know. And then at DH, I got Anthony Santander, and the backup is Omart. In the rotation, the rotation's fun. I think we get our ace this offseason.
We need to.
But so Gausman is out at the 2026 season. Bassett's gone at the 25 season. I have in our ace position is an NA. I think they go out and they sign a guy. It is either Zach Gallen, Dylan Cease, or Michael King this offseason. Maybe Framber Valdez. I don't know if they're gonna go all the way out for that. You know, those are the 4 guys you look at. Then it's Jose Barrios in the 2-hole. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think Michael King's a great fit.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy I've been looking at, and I've seen a lot of shit being talked about on Twitter, Blue Jays Twitter, about Michael King. So I really like him.
Yeah, he's sick. Then I had Barrios too. I have Trey Savage in the 3 spot. Then I got one of Ricky Tiedemann, Kendrys Rojas, Jake Bloss. One of those guys. I put Bloss last because I really just don't think it's him.
Right.
Tiedemann or Rojas, I think, is the real toss-up there. Then at the 5 spot, I have Cal Stevenson and Alek Manoah. Again, like, some of those guys are going to go in their bullpen. Some of those guys are just going to get traded. The main lineup, the number 1 lineup I have is, you know, Rodon leading off in left field, Namala batting second at the shortstop, Vladdy third as a first baseman, Santander cleaning it up, DH. Then you got the power hitting right fielder, who I hope is Jace Laviolette, nasty lineup. Then you got Barger at third base. Then you got Kirk at catcher, Varsho in center, and Andres Jimenez rounding it out, unfortunately. That's a sick lineup. That's 2021 level lineup, 2015 level lineup, where you're just going to hit tick shots everywhere. The bench is then Loperfido is the 4th outfielder, Wagner and Martinez is the infielders, and then not applicable for your backup catcher. I didn't do a bullpen because there's no goddamn point.
Yeah. Bullpens change all the time. I think you're right. But I also, this is a great hypothetical lineup. I just don't know what they're going to do in the off seasons.
And it's just one draft pick away from happening.
Yeah. But I just don't know if they don't pull the trigger on a big name guy again in an open market in a few years.
I mean, I don't see how they don't pull the trigger this year. You get Vladdy locked down. This is probably your last year to really manipulate contracts, if we're being completely honest with ourselves. You're not going to have Bo Bichette, most likely. Like, that guy, I doubt he's coming back. Like, I don't see it. I'd love it, but I don't see it. Bassett's like $170 million comes off the books. Then Gausman's $25 million and Springer's $25 million, or whatever the numbers are, comes off the book at the end of the 2026 season. You free up so much money in there. Not to mention a guy like Scherzer's not going to be on the books next year. Chad Green's probably not going to be on the books
I always forget about
in a
him.
couple years. Like there's going to be a few contracts that won't be there that are going to really help elevate, where you can throw an extension at Varsho and just say back up the Brinks truck on a starter.
Yeah.
Like an ace. You're not going out and getting a Sonny Gray. Like if you're going to get a starter, you're getting Gallen, King, Cease, Valdez, or you wait till the next offseason. And I don't know who those guys are, but you get one of those guys instead.
I think I think an ace is mandatory. If not this season, next season, it's mandatory.
It has to happen.
Especially with the way our rotation is slowly depleting and getting too old for my liking.
Yeah.
You already see it in their performance. Gosman's been good at times, but then really bad, and then Bassett. Just too many inconsistencies, and they're not going to sign these guys long term.
I could
with
see
like a
them maybe
young team.
shelling out a 1-year deal to like a guy like Gosman, but like I don't know, man. It's a lot. I don't see a whole bunch of it. So yeah.
Think of the average age of this team in 3 years compared to now.
Yeah. Well, think of how much cheaper this team will be in a couple of years if you have guys like
On
Barger
rookie
who are going to
contracts.
be, Barger, Namala, Laviolette, or Summerhill, whoever you draft, if they become guys. Roden, Omart, Wagner. Like your bench is going to be so cheap. And then if you can get guys like Yesavich, Tiedemann, Stevenson, or Rojas getting in there, you're probably saving $100 million, $200 million by those guys just being rookies, especially if they're on like year 1 or 2. Like we're talking I genuinely think August to like end of September 2026 could be like, you remember what like the Orioles, not obviously, I'm not gonna throw it at the same
When
level
they
because some of those
called,
guys, but when they were calling like Gunner up and they called Mayo up or whoever the fuck it was, like they were calling dudes up left and right, and you're like, God, where are they getting these guys?
Their washed up catcher.
Yeah. That's what I think the end of 2026 could be, where it's like, Namala's up, Yesavage is up, Rojas is up, and you're like, where was this? Plus whoever else, like maybe. I'm just gonna keep saying Laviolette's name because he's gonna be the guy. I have the feeling. And you're just like, wow, like the Jays brought up 2 power hitting bats and 2 really good pitchers, and they got another one in the wings, maybe 2 more in the wings. You're like, it's here. So yeah. Yeah,
no, Namala, Vladdy, franchise tags. Imagine that one too.
Dude, nasty.
Man.
Hit him back to back. And imagine they find a way to keep Bo Bichette. And then they can trade Andres Jimenez. And then you can throw one of Bichette or Namala at second. Then your 1, 2, 3 is Bichette, Namala, Vladdy.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It probably won't happen.
Hopefully they turn it around. I mean, necessarily, like, Bo's not been that good this year. He's been, like, back to hitting.
He's just not hitting.
Yeah. It's just, like, in a contract year with so much riding on it, it's like, has he really impressed me that much? It's like, no, not really.
Jim Bowden, who horrible at what he does, threw out a number for Bo Bichette. A really number. It's a number. He threw out $171 million as Bo Bichette's next contract. Over under total contract value when Bo Bichette signs.
At this point, it's so hard to say, man. I don't think he's gained much value at all, like, this season.
I would say at this point, I almost could feel confident saying under, because he signs like one of those like Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman deal. Yeah, like a 2-year deal, but it's worth like $30 million a year. So he's got like a 2-year $60 million deal with a player option to like in between that first and second year that he can opt out and like get that long-term contract.
Yeah.
That being said, depending on who his suitors are, like let's say Atlanta's in there, let's say the Dodgers are in there, because the Dodgers could have used a shortstop, which is scary to say. And let's say let's say Detroit, and then the Blue Jays to round it out. Those are your 4. What's to stop that from reaching 200? Like, what's to stop, like, maybe a team goes, here's 170, and the Dodgers go, well, here's 200.
They got money to spend, they're going to spend it.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It's a possibility. It's a risky one, but like you said, in this market, barring any changes from the MLB and, like, the whole league in general, someone would do it.
171's such a good number. Like, if you're getting Bo Bichette for 171, he's underpaid, I would say.
Right.
Like, if you were to tell me I could sign up for a 6-7 year contract for Bo Bichette that's guaranteed value is 171, I want that I want that news broken yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because the risk is not high and then the upside is high.
Yeah.
That's just it. Because we know what he can do. He's just not doing it. Like, you've seen the approach come back, but it's like he's lost some power. Don't know why. He's being almost too selective, in my opinion.
It feels like he's trying not to overdo it right now.
Yeah.
He feels passive. Like, Bo's good when he's taking those hacks where his helmet's coming off.
Yeah.
Like, when I look back at, like, Bo Bichette highlights, there's one at-bat a game where his helmet's on the ground and he's taking a daddy hack. He hasn't done that this year.
Well, it doesn't help he has a Will haircut. Like, he got rid of the hair, bro.
Yeah, and look at what it did for Vladdy. Got him $500 million.
No, I know. He's been, he's been weird. But...
Fuck you.
No, not dissing. Not dissing there. I'm just saying he's got a very similar haircut to you,
I inspired him.
Exactly. Could be bad. Anyway, just kidding. I'm kidding. His defense has been better, to be honest, this year.
Yeah.
But when he comes up to the plate, I don't know. Feels like he's just...
what Bo Bichette you're getting from the first pitch. Yeah. You can just tell. If he laces a double, he's going 3 for 4 for the day. If he's out in his first at-bat, he's going 0 for 4.
0 for 5, 0 for 4, yeah. And that's the trouble thing, too, I feel like, with this team. One of the biggest issues has been the lack of... And it was the same thing last year. The lack of first inning runs and, like... the opposite, where the pitchers get off to a rough start, so they're constantly feeling pressured to deliver, and then the bats just don't wake up when they're behind. Yeah, exactly. We only win games when we're up usually. Like today,
that's usually how it happens.
Well, yeah, but like
you don't lose a game by scoring less.
I'm saying, like, no, when we score
not
first,
a lot of comeback
we win.
I don't like the stat comeback win. I think it's the dumbest fucking stat in the world, because you could give up a first pitch home run to fucking Chris Bryant on the Rockies and then shit kick the Rockies 25-1, and it will be a comeback win because they scored first. A comeback win should be you're down after the 5th inning and you come back and win it, because then at that point, the 5th inning is when it becomes an official game. So like,
I agree.
I hate the stat comeback when they're talking about it the other day on the Jays broadcast. They're like, the Jays have this many wins where they come back and won, and it's like, that's great, but like, was it because they fell down in the first inning and then the other team didn't score and the Jays scored 2 more runs that game, or was it like they came back in the 8th inning from an Anthony Santander home run?
Right. I think context matters, but when the Rays are scoring 3 in the first, the game's over.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, it's because the Rays have devil magic, and they're cheating.
But the score differential between us getting runs and scored on is crazy this year. I don't know the exact number. I think it's like minus 30 something.
The run differential is not good this year. My favorite stat, and I'm going to throw it out. I'm winging it. I don't know the exact number for the second part. But so in the MLB, in the first inning, the Blue Jays have the 8th best team average. And then they have like the 27th best runs. Like they get guys on in the first, like they'll get the bases loaded, and then they promptly take a fat shit on the plate and not score anyone. It's like they play, first to touch home has to like slap someone on the ass, and they're like, no, and then they don't do it.
I think that like most of the season up until like maybe 2 weeks ago, it was all singles, and that was a huge problem. It's like single, and then you'd get a guy over, but then you'd get a double play and, waste runners. And now they don't want to get those base hits. They just like only hit home runs to score runs.
Home runs fun. Home runs are fun. And I'm glad we're hitting them. But now that we're hitting solo home runs, let's try and hit 2 or 3 run home runs. Those are fun.
Exactly. If we could get the base hits and then the home runs, that would be fucking sick.
You score more when you go base hit, home run than home run, base hit. Just saying. From my personal experience in baseball.
And it feels good sometimes because we'll have a series like we just did against
San Diego.
Where
Varsho
we're like,
hits
wow,
a
we're
grand
waking.
slam, and you're like, no way. A grand slam? In this economy? Are you kidding me?
Over 10 runs, and then we're like, fuck, we're on to something. We're turning around, and then just face flat. Oof. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to predict with this team anymore. Like I literally can't.
Case, you want to talk about weird, fun 2025 Blue Jay stats?
Yes.
They're the first team since it was the 1989 Blue Jays to score 12 runs or more in the 7th inning or later, or something like that.
Wow.
I think that was the stat. It was something along that line. It was like it hasn't been done since the late 80s. And I was sat there and I'm like, what is this team? They go from scoring 1 run in a series to making history to scoring 2 runs in a game or in a series to making more fucking history.
I will say, with that game in particular,
San Diego gifted us.
Some of it.
I watched the highlights.
There's 3 or 4 easy play. Even the play that Manny Machado made, and it wasn't called an error, he should have made that play.
Manny made about 4 errors. They gave him 3. Cronenworth made an error. They didn't give it to him. And then someone else made it. Was it Arise, I think, made the error? And they called him on the air. Yeah. They gave him 4 errors out of 6. I counted. I was like, wow, that's really generous.
It was literally a flashback to Game 5 of the... against
Game 5
Texas.
of the ALDS.
Yeah.
Elvis Andrus, here we come.
Yeah.
It was, I watched the highlights and I was like, damn. And then I was golfing and I watched Nathan Lucas walk it off, and then I immediately shanked my iron shot. Like, immediately, I was like, fucking right. Oh, there it goes. That's not the hole.
No, I think that was another game of like just very Blue Jays-esque. Blow the lead. Don't make it easy to get over 500.
The most Blue Jays-esque way would have been them losing that game. The fact that they won, I was kind of like, this doesn't feel right. You blow the lead in the 9th and you score 2 runs in the 2 extra innings, like.
And that's us fighting to get over 500.
Yeah, and that was a goddamn battle. And now we're 1 away from 500 again. So,
oh my god, yeah.
The Jays are 7-2 in games where they can reach 500. They're winning tomorrow.
Yeah, and the matchup's perfect, like I said.
Matchup's perfect. I want to do a quick prospect highlight. If that's cool with you.
Do it.
Just because it's been a minute. Trey Savage, Cal Stevenson, and Gage Stanifer all got promoted to High A Vancouver. Stanifer is kind of like a bullpen arm. He had an 0.69 ERA in like Dunedin. He struck out 38 guys in 26 innings. He had a .85 whip. Nasty.
That's fucked.
Everyone knows the Savage numbers and the Cal Stevenson numbers. They were nasty. Yeah. In AA, this is a bit ago. This was like last week. Hendrik Panago was hitting .357. Had 6 home runs on the year, has 16 RBIs, a 1.074 OPS. He was a part of the Nate Pearson package, so thank you, Cubs. Then Ryan Jennings got promoted to AAA in AA. Jennings had a 2.86 ERA, 22 innings pitched, 28 Ks, a 1.36 WHIP. He's kind of seen as like a multi-inning guy, really high whiff rate and K rates. Like that's pretty nice. He probably
that is.
touches the Jays roster in September as like a call up, and then Jerron Watts Brown got promoted to Double-A, and then what's his name? Robert Brooks, I think it is, got promoted to Double-A as well a couple days ago. They call him Bobby Brooks. I gotta look him up. Dude's sick. He's like a pitcher version of Schneider. Like he's got the glasses and everything, man. He's perfect pitcher Schneider, you know?
Oh. I think that's quickly we should throw that in. How Schneider won the Player of the Week last week, I think it was.
Yeah, dude's killing it.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he got called up to AAA. Maybe what happened? You can. He won. I think.
He does look exactly like him. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did I get it right?
I'm looking into it right now. But he does look like his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert Brooks. Never mind, he's a catcher. Sorry, he's a catcher. He was hitting 113 in Double-A. He hit one home run. Okay.
Hey, maybe
that's because Ali Sanchez got called up to the Jays, and Buffalo needs a backup catcher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But like, shout out to him. He looks like Davis Schneider's twin, like long lost cousin.
He does.
You know? Like I saw this photo and I'm like, okay, well that's Davis Schneider.
That is crazy. They look identical. There's actually a picture of both of them on my screen right now, side by side.
Stalker.
It's on Reddit. Anywho, is that all for the prospect?
I'm trying to think. Oh, Ronald Acuna Jr. came back to baseball and he had a home run on the first pitch of the season after missing 362 days of baseball. Acuna's a dog. And honestly, baseball is just better when he's healthy.
Agreed.
We don't have to give like an actual Blue Jay of the week, but I want to give honors to Lucas because he kicked ass this week, or these past weeks, and I want to give it to Barger as well because he also kicked some ass this week.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with Barger. She's the only one that's like really, I don't know, stood out, I guess, with consistency. He's had a couple games.
I get excited when Barger's up to bat.
Exactly.
Like I tune in for Addison Barger ABs right now. And like I did that last year, but I did it last year because the team was shit, and I was like, well, there's really just nothing else but to look at prospects. If he was hitting like he was last year, this year, I would not tune in for Addison Barger ABs. It's the fact that he's hitting the ball where it's like, I want to watch this guy. Like, you know, like he's gonna do something every AB. I tune in for every Vladdy AB. Varsho's gonna be the most fun player to watch this season, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously Vladdy, but like Varsho's going to either hit a ball 8,000 feet or he's going to beat out a bunt single or he's going to dive around. I think he's going to be he's going to be the most entertaining player to watch this year for the Jays.
I'm okay. I love the fact that we have a guy that's going to bat just over 200 or just under with possibly 30, 40 home runs. Yeah.
He's Kyle Schwarber, bro. We got Kyle Schwarber at home.
With defense.
Yeah. We got Kyle Schwarber offense with Kevin Kiermaier defense.
Yeah. Honestly. Even Kevin Pillar. Shout out Kevin Pillar.
Shout out Kevin Pillar.
We never miss with fucking center fielders playing defense.
We've had a Gold Glove level center fielder basically every year since 2015. Like they saw Rasmus get scared of the wall and they're like, fuck this guy, and they brought up Pillar, who immediately went over to center fielder after like a month. And then after Pillar, it gets a little iffy, you know, you got like Alan Hansen. And then it's Springer, who is sick in center field for like the year and a half that he played. Then it's Kiermaier. Now it's Varsho.
Is it like I've seen Straw in center? I know. Yeah, he was in center today. Because I know they've been moving him around.
Yeah.
A little bit, like from left to center.
take a little bit of a wear and tear off his body. You see that photo of him against Detroit where he climbed the wall? Like, he's basically like 10 feet in the air.
No.
You haven't seen this photo? Oh my god. You gotta look up Dalton Varsho. It's probably on MLB's Twitter or something. It is like insane.
He climbed the wall?
Yeah, in like the outfield. It was nuts. I'm gonna look it up. I probably have it saved somewhere. I could probably send it to you. I do. Okay, I'm gonna send this to you, DJ, and you're gonna love it. And then you're gonna ask me, "Oh, is this a digitally altered photo?" And I'm gonna say, "No, it's not. This is a real, legitimate photo that was taken in an MLB baseball game. I just sent it to you on your phone."
Oh my god, wait, what? Is he in a, what's it called? Is he in a City Connect jersey?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. He looks like Mario, bro.
Dude's all the way up there. I saw that photo because I didn't see the play. I saw that photo and I'm like, well, that's a fucking, what, like, this is obviously fake. There's no way Varsho got up there. I thought, like, Jay's friends are just like, this is what it's like watching Varsho play. And then I saw the video and I'm like, oh, Varsho actually got up there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the ball went over or what?
Yeah, oh no, it was a home run.
Damn, he wanted that shit. That would have been catch of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, holy shit. That guy's a dog.
Yeah, that was kind of it.
Will's gonna put the picture right here, by the way.
No, I'm not. Absolutely not.
I wanted to throw you under the bus.
Do we want to do... I don't even know the fuck we play after Texas, bro.
Oh, I can get that up.
I want to say we go back home.
And play the Athletics.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
For 4?
We play them in Toronto for 4.
That's 2 wins.
And then Pittsburgh ruins our day. I mean, not Pittsburgh. I mean Philadelphia.
I say, god damn. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's do the rest of Texas, all of Oakland. That's 6 games. 4-2. Vladdy player of the week. Fuck it, 5-1. Vladdy player of the week.
Bro, we're gonna do so good against Texas. I think we take at least 1-2, and then like 2-1, 1-2.
We play 4 against Oakland.
Yeah. I'll go 4-2. We're gonna lose one against Oakland, and we're gonna lose one against Texas. Almost done.
Sorry. Who is your player of the week? God damn, that's a long ass sausage going in your mouth.
Goddamn right, boy.
Who's your player of the week again? Sorry.
Didn't say it yet.
No, say it, man. I'm trying to get it so you can indulge in that sausage and put it all the way down your throat.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Thanks your form, man. Dalton Varsho? Okay.
The Varsho.
The Varsho. Awesome.
Okay.
Also, disclaimer alert, we will be referring to Oakland as Oakland for as long as they are Oakland, which is forever, so suck it. Until they're Las Vegas, they are Oakland. I'm not going to refer to them as Sacramento or the Athletics. They're Oakland.
That's like calling Twitter X.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Never going to happen. So thank you for watching, listening, and enjoying in all the podcast forms that you do that as. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are brand new, and we'll see you all in the next one when the Jays sweep Texas and lose 1 to Oakland. Bye.